Hi everyone, glad you glad you could be with me today to talk about a subject which I think is on everybody's lips, and that is whether Trump is a traitor. Now, interestingly enough, I've been viewing a number of videos in relation to the search of Trump's property, and the most interesting fact, I think, is that everybody is failing to admit what is actually on the end of their tongues, and that is that potentially Trump is a traitor. Because if you understand Donald Trump and his narcissistic qualities, and you start to consider that this man would look for any opportunity, absolutely any opportunity, to be able to monetize what his experiences with as president and in the White House, then I guess the most logical thing for someone like Trump to do would be to abscond with as many documents as he could, which he knew would seek a high price on the open black market. And he also, it is fair to say, had some interesting relationships with some really fascinating people, such as particularly Putin, I guess, and maybe even Xi. So what this has led me to believe is that the thing that I think we're not talking about the most is the possibility that Trump had accumulated all of these documents with the hope that at some particular point he would be able to on-sell them. Now, I don't know how the Americans would respond to discover that the man that 1/3 of them at least admire so much is a God-fearing individual, even though he never goes to church, and that he has a sense of values and principles and wants to do the right thing by the United States. But then he would sell secrets, perhaps, to other people, to other countries, who would in turn harm the United States. So this is a man who we need to understand has no moral compass whatsoever, who would do whatever he can to receive the accolades that he needs to receive and to make money from the information that he has. And I'm hoping that at some point the FBI will reveal what it is they actually do know about Donald Trump, whether they have recordings of conversations he's had with other people in terms of the possibility, I guess, of selling some of this information that he has, whether they have information that may say that he's actually on-sold some of the information. He doesn't have to hand it over, he could photocopy it, whatever, and he could send it on to others if he knew how to use the photocopying machine. So there are many questions that could be asked around this, and what would it mean to the United States in particular if that was the case? How would people, I wonder whether people would still stand up for him, whether they would still believe in Trumpism if they discovered that the man was a traitor. And I guess the most important thing to remember under those circumstances is that there would be a whole range of conspiracy theories that would bubble to the surface as a result of him even being charged with being a traitor, and the impact that that would have on the people that believe in him fervently. They would need to be able to justify their very existence to some extent. They would need to justify what has happened and to find some sort of conspiracy that would fit with the fact that he has been charged with being a traitor. So my guess would be that it would be difficult for many people to accept that he has possibly done whatever he has done. They are struggling at the moment even to deal with the notion that the house has been searched, that he did have all these documents. Some of them were top secret. many documents, and many of the documents, I guess, that he had were so top secret that they couldn't even identify them in the list, that the receipts of what the FBI had received. So at this particular point, I think that there's a lot to be played out. I will agree there's certainly a lot we don't know, and there's a lot yet to be discovered. So we need to sit back and watch. But I would not be at all surprised if he had found a way to monetize the information that he has, so that he could add to his existing dwindling wealth. And and what the other thing that interests me too would be how will the right wing respond to all of that? Will there come a point where you just won't be able to accept who you believe this man to be? And you know, the Americans use the word patriot a lot, and I get a bit concerned about that because I've got no idea what it means. Their definition blows me away. In Australia, we don't necessarily see people as patriots. We don't have that sort of that idea resonating with us often. We see people as good people or bad people, I guess. But we don't necessarily refer to who we are and the versions of the world that we hold and how we see our country as patriots. That's a United States type thing. But how would they view him, and and particularly how would history view Trump? I think it'll be a disaster. And if the point is that if the United States continues along the path that they're going, and if, regardless of any horrific things that Trump might have done with these documents, I think that the United States is heading to a place where most of them would not want to go, but will be forced to go, because there'll be some sort of revolt against the rule of law, and there'll be some sort of revolt against their parliamentary system, which may mean that at the end of the day they may wind up with an autocracy or a dictatorship. And I would hope that doesn't happen, because I do think that there are many people in the United States who certainly are good people and who want the best that they can for their country, and that doesn't rest with someone like Donald Trump. So them 'tis my thoughts, and I was wondering what you think. So if you'd like to put a comment down below, please feel free. And also, could you please remember to subscribe to my channel if you find anything of us that I say is valuable. If it's not valuable and you want to criticise it, it's fine. Just make a comment below. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being with me. Take care and look after yourself.